Hello everyone, my name is Brian, and this is my Journal Club presentation for 8846 NRS Assessment 1B. The article that I have decided to focus on for this presentation is Measles, Mumps, Rubella Preventions. How Can We Do Better? By Florence Kaufman, Catherine Heffernan, Francois Maurice, Martin Ota, Volker Vetter, and Giacomo Casabona. The article was published in 2021 with the Expert Review of Vaccines, Volume 20, Issue 7. The aim of this study was to conduct a review of the literature up to November 2019, with several exceptions, to identify the challenges associated with controlling measles, mumps, and rubella infections and outbreaks. From this point on, I will be referring to these diseases as MMR. The relevance of this article to the field of public health is that the control of MMR outbreaks is critical, as they are easily vaccinated against, and the current vaccines are quite effective in controlling them. Measles is one of the most highly contagious diseases that we have a preventable vaccine for, with a reproductive rate of 12 to 18, compared to mumps with a reproductive rate of 4 to 7, and rubella with a rate of 3 to 8. The methods for this study involved conducting a literature search on PubMed, which primarily focused on the studies and other literature reviews post-2005, with some notable exceptions. The search used either MMR, measles, mumps, or rubella, in combination with search terms such as vaccination, challenge, outbreak, control, elimination, eradication, coverage, early, migrant, healthcare worker, traveller, surveillance, waning, genotype, effectiveness, mandatory, third dose, guidance, and position. The selected articles were then collated into 11 categories, which focused on their own challenges such as societal factors, systemic weaknesses, and vaccine characteristics. The first challenge identified was the lack of awareness of the value of vaccination. This has led to a phenomenon known as vaccine hesitancy. This is leading to an increased proportion of the population, particularly in high-income countries, declining vaccinations for themselves and their children. As a consequence of a successful vaccination program, people have become complacent, and the perception of the disease risks has decreased, leading to further reductions in the rate of vaccination. Another factor influencing vaccine hesitancy is the increasing popularity of unsubstantiated claims about the safety and efficacy of the vaccine. The second challenge is unvaccinated or undervaccinated individuals. This includes individuals such as travellers and refugees from countries where MMR is still endemic or where vaccination programs are lacking. The third challenge is access threats and constraints. This includes military conflicts, as well as political and economic crises, which create an environment unsuitable for efficient vaccine distribution. The fourth challenge is outbreak preparedness, or more specifically, the lack of outbreak preparedness, because undervaccinated travellers have the potential to import infectious diseases to currently cleared communities where population immunity is lacking. There is likely to be an outbreak, as the healthcare system would not be prepared to carry out effective treatment and control of the disease. Challenge number 5 is that of epidemiology, which involves adapting national vaccination programs to be more suited to the epidemiological profile of that country. This could simply be changing the time of the first administration to 9 months in countries where mortality is high in the first year, and delaying in regions where infections occur later in life. Number 6 moves into the system weaknesses and focuses on vaccination infrastructure and management. The main issue with this challenge is problems related to immunization service arrangements in low and middle income countries, including issues such as waiting times, lack of transportation, limited opening hours of clinics, unwelcoming healthcare environments, sessions not being held as planned, lack of commitments by some healthcare workers, and financial costs to those attending immunization visits, such as lack of pay for having to take a day off to schedule an appointment. Issues also occur in high-income countries, where healthcare budgets are reduced and costs are cut to immunization programs. Challenge number 7 focuses on improving surveillance systems, as a lack of an effective system significantly impedes in controlling MMR outbreaks, even in countries with sufficient vaccination coverage. Challenge number 8 is vaccine supply. As vaccine production is a complex and lengthy procedure with multiple testing phases, it can be difficult to respond quickly to unexpected demands during an outbreak in the short term. There is also a certain degree of communication which is lacking between policymakers and vaccine producers in regards to immunization programs, which can lead to supply inadequacy. Challenge number 9 is primary vaccine failure. The vaccine being focused on is the trivalent MMR vaccine, which is more advanced, more effective, and more widely used than its monovalent or bivalent counterparts. 2 doses of the MMR vaccine have seroresponse rates of approximately 98% against measles. Vaccine failure can occur if the child is vaccinated at a young age due to the presence of the maternal antibodies. Challenge number 10 is secondary vaccine failure. This is seen in areas where low exposure to measles occurs well after the second vaccination, which leads to what is referred to as vaccine waning, which is a decrease in the levels of antibodies present, while still often remaining above the seropositivity thresholds after 10 years. The final challenge is the vaccine strains and new virus genotypes. New measles genotypes can still be eliminated by the antibodies generated by the current vaccinated immune response. However, in the case of mumps, outbreaks can occur due to circulating genotype variants and the vaccine strains used. But a major cause of these new outbreaks is also due to a waning immunity, which leads individuals to be more susceptible to these new genotype strains. As for the validity of this study, the article was funded by GlaxoSmithKline Biologicals SA, one of the major vaccine manufacturers in the world, and also pharmaceutical manufacturers. Many of the authors also hold shares in GSK, which could lead to bias even though they declared no other financial interests. One of the limitations for this study is that while it does successfully identify many challenges to effective MMR vaccinations, it doesn't offer many clear solutions to said challenges. Also, other than simply defining search terms used for the article selection, there were no clear inclusion or exclusion terms other than the language being restricted to articles published in English. There was also no clearly defined research question at the beginning of the review, and there was very limited use of data shown to support their claims and results. For the results of this literature review, the authors found that one of the most important challenges to the elimination goal for MMR is the number of unvaccinated individuals, and that we should implement new and altered interventions to increase the immunization rate. They also determined that policymakers should be implementing more country-specific vaccination schedules and policies, as well as increasing awareness surrounding the diseases to make the public more aware of the realities and contagiousness of these diseases. In conclusion, I believe that the authors raised some important challenges to the eradication of MMR, and suggested some effective interventions which would greatly improve the elimination rate of measles, mumps, and rubella, leading to an improved overall public health. Thank you for listening.